Michael Chandler versus Paddy Pimblett just gave fans one of the wildest UFC fights in years. Now that it's over, reactions from the MMA world are pouring in, and they're not holding back.
Chandler's just about staying in it. It's got to be done.
No, stop
3,
You gotta stop
2, 1.
Wow.
He hasn't stopped it.
Yeah,
There it is.
Wow.
Hey.
Amazing performance.
Wow.
Domination. I don't believe that. I don't believe that.
Elbows through the guard from Paddy. Chandler's covering up. Yes, lad. Fucking make him, lad. What? What, lad? Dominated him, lad. Dominated him. TKO for Paddy Pimblett, lad. TKO, Paddy Pimblett. What the fuck did I tell you? Pimblett TKO. Give me that. Give me that. Nobody made Chandler look that easy. Dominated him. Brutalized him and finished him. What now, lad? Eh? None of it, lad? Let's go, Paddy. Thank you for the $5. Outstruck him, outgrappled him, and dominated him and finished him. Chandler's kid didn't... Alright, thank you for the 2. Shut up. Let's go, lad. Guess who's back? Youngest Sav, you're ruining the sport. Shut up, bitch. This is high-risk Anglo right here, dude. Tom Aspinall Pimblett variant. Chandler must retire after that. He gets better every fight he does. He put him on a shirt. I don't know if he put him on a shirt, but there you go.
Yeah, Paddy Pimblett showed tonight that he is the real deal. Beating Michael Chandler and beating him the way that he did, I don't know how you can doubt the kid anymore.
It would seem likely that next fight out, he's going to get a big name opponent, right? And probably that would be the one that put him into title contention.
Well, tonight was a pretty big name opponent too. But yeah, he's in that spot now where he's going to be fighting.
We're not going to win every bet. That's impossible. But to lose a bet because the over got sold because that ref is just stopping a fight out of absolute nowhere is absolute bullshit. One of the worst stoppages I've ever seen. See laughing at. One of the worst stoppages I've ever seen. Brutal. Absolutely brutal. Bullshit. Nobody referee because they went to Florida, so they have some asshole doing these fights. That was an absolute joke.
Hey, stand up Liverpool. Chandler's always been overrated. And this is the thing now. So Nick Pete, who I work with, we'll get to that in a second. Flying knee, timed that perfectly. Follow-up shots as well. Look at that, Cal. Boom. Flying knee. Immediately goes on the attack. Out wrestles him in 3. Picks him up.
Redrops him to his hip.
Slams him down. Takes the... Look at that visual there. Look at that visual.
The way he's staring at him.
He's looking at him like shit.
Yeah.
It was an epic beatdown.
One of the best performances I've ever seen, honestly.
Yeah.
Yeah, really,
that
really
was
is. Like expectations compared to what we got, you know?
insane. Insane. I mean, I got my prediction right. But I thought by
That's all
decision.
that matters at the end of the day.
Oh!
Paddy is beating the fuck out of him. They're about to call the 12-6. Just stop the fight, ref. What are we even doing? It's over. Paddy Pimblett finishes Michael Chandler. Yes. Fuck anybody doubting him. Oh, Paddy the baddie. Oh, Paddy the baddie. I told you, motherfuckers, he's a gangster. F him up. Gangster. Gangster. Not way better than I thought, DC. I knew he was good. Perfect. Perfect. Perfection. Paddy Pimblett is a mother gangster. They said, oh, Charles Oliveira decision. Well, Paddy might be. He's looking for the rear naked, but Chandler keeps going to his back, but he's mounted. He's about to get finished via TKO. Big elbows. Oh, rear naked. Let's go. Tap out. Quit, you little pussy. Oh, my God. I'm starting to feel bad for Chandler now. Oh, my God. He's getting battered. He's getting battered. Just quit already. Just quit already. Just quit already, Chandler. Life-altering damage. Quit. 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 Stop it, Kerry Hadley. Where's them Jefferson County javelins now? Where's them Jefferson County javelins now? Finish him. Finish him. See you at the top, you bum. Yes. Let's go, Paddy. Where's them Jefferson County javelins now? Backshot's dead. Backshot's dead. Dude waited years. Wasted his career in his late 30s. Begging for another man to show him attention. Paddy dominated him. Dominated him. That's a win for Chandler. He likes being dominated by other men. Let's go, Paddy. Let's go, Paddy. Let's go, Paddy. Back shot's dead. Destruction. Utter destruction. Domination. Get him out of the rankings. Fuck him and his Jefferson County Javelins. Get him out the rankings. Get him out the rankings. Whoo. Whoo. Complete domination. They called me crazy. They called me crazy. They called me biased. That ain't even fight of the night. That ain't even fight of the night. That's domination. That's domination. Holy shit. Can we talk about the fact Paddy just dominated him with back shots dead? Smoking on the Chandler pack tonight. Holy shit.
This might get stopped. This might get stopped. It's about to get stopped. That's it. That's it. That's the best performance of Paddy Pimblett's career by a country mile. He has proven to be much better than I thought he would be. He looked fantastic tonight. Good for him. Dude, like I said, I don't give a shit who wins as long as it's the rightful guy. The person who looked better, who didn't get screwed by the judges, who just deserved to win on that night. It's Paddy. It's Paddy. It's Paddy. Yeah. Great win. Great win. He dominated the fuck out of Michael Chandler for the most part. Great win by Paddy. Great win. Is it me or do Paddy's strikes look hard to you? And well-timed. That knee he got on Chandler was well-timed. Got to protect the McNuggets. I think, by the way, Connor lost like $500,000 on that bet tonight. Boom. Just really well done. Really well done. Boom. Look at that. Sick. That's what I mean. Yes, that was hard in part because Chandler was moving into it, but the timing and then the mat return. Fantastic. Yeah, Chandler got whooped, son. Typical Chandler gamesmanship. LOL, what the fuck? I might have to become a Paddy fan, says Alan. Room temperature fight IQ by Chandler once again. Not the best. Not the best.
Oh, he's covering. Paddy Pimblett. Bang, 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 bang. Raining down blows. Hammer fists. Paddy Pimblett looking for the finish. Referee calls it. Paddy Pimblett wins. Paddy Pimblett wins. Wow. I tell you what, flipping Dana White is doing cartwheels. He is going to be doing cartwheels.
The fight between Paddy Pimblett and Michael Chandler had built up significant anticipation, with analysts divided on who would come out on top. Experts from various corners of the MMA world offered their predictions, adding fuel to the fire, with some seeing an upset and others favoring Chandler's experience. Henry Cejudo was one of the experts to call for an upset in this matchup. Speaking on his podcast alongside Kamaru Usman, he expressed belief that Paddy Pimblett had the tools to surprise Chandler. He had imagined a scenario where Paddy might even pull guard and force Chandler into uncomfortable situations on the ground, hinting that the Englishman had more tools than people gave him credit for.
I'm smelling an upset, bro. I think with Paddy Pimblett, dude, I think he's gonna bring in the grappling. I think he might pull guard on this dude, and I don't think his hands are not bad either, bro. But I think he could also force Michael Chandler to do something on the bottom.
Further building his case, Henry Cejudo emphasized that Paddy's performance against Bobby Green was a turning point. He highlighted Paddy's sharp transitions and his momentum, pointing to the winning streak that had made people rethink his capabilities. According to Henry Cejudo, this version of Paddy looked much sharper and more confident, and a win over Chandler could place him just one step away from title contention, possibly even setting up a future fight with Justin Gaethje.
He might, if he cannot take Michael Chandler down, he's more likely going to have to do that. But I just feel like Paddy Pimblett, he's a lot better than what I thought. and what he was able to do to Bobby Green, his transitional stuff, obviously him being on I want to say it's 9-fight, 8-fight win streak. I mean, you know what I'm saying? Like, dude, we gotta put some respect on that dude's name.
Kamaru Usman shared Henry's sentiments, agreeing that Paddy had the potential to pull off a win. He acknowledged the strength of the division with contenders like Arman Tsarukyan, Charles Oliveira, and Justin Gaethje still lingering for title opportunity. However, Usman felt that Paddy was one fight away from making it into the title picture, recognizing his upward momentum in the sport.
I can see that. I can agree with. I can see that because, you know, at the top of that division right now, I mean, you still got guys up there. You got Arman Tsarukyan still lingering right there. You got Charles Oliveira still lingering right there. You've got, well, who I think is next is Justin Gaethje lingering out there for that title shot, and incoming Ilia Topuria still lingering out there for that title shot. So my man, like, yeah, you are right. I could see him being one fight away.
Despite his admiration for Paddy, Usman also emphasized Chandler's strength and experience. He reminded everyone that Chandler had faced stiff competition in his UFC career, coming from a new organization where the UFC placed him in tough tests to gauge his skill level.
Michael Chandler is no slouch. I mean, Michael Chandler has, you know, obviously when UFC brings someone, especially someone in from a new organization, they like to throw him to not necessarily for the title shot. They like to, you know, put him in with someone that they feel like, yeah, let's gauge where you at, really. And they've done that with Michael Chandler, as we saw. When he came in, they gave him to who? Dan Hooker. And what did Michael Chandler do? Yeah.
Usman recalled Chandler's emphatic knockout of Dan Hooker and noted that Chandler's career had reached a critical point. According to Usman, this fight would be pivotal for Chandler, as losing to a younger fighter like Paddy could lead him to reconsider his future in the sport.
I'm gonna have to go with Michael Chandler here because I think this is also a crossroads for him. I know he waited for that Conor fight for a long time and didn't materialize, but this is a crossroad because if you don't get through Paddy Pimblett here, now you have to really sit down and look at your career. Do I want to continue to do this? Because now I'm dropping fights to the younger guys that aren't as experienced as I am. So yeah, I'm going to go with Michael Chandler here.
Robert Whittaker, despite Chandler's knockout power and experience, sided with Paddy to win. He believed Paddy had a clear path to victory, especially due to Chandler's explosive but unpredictable style. Whittaker pointed to Chandler's past fights, like his clash with Dan Hooker, as proof of how dangerous Chandler could be when he exploded with his athleticism.
I definitely think Paddy can win. I think he has a shot. He has a path to victory.
Yeah.
Okay, and that's just like kind of piecing him up, wearing him out, dragging him into his space, and just creating that scenario. But I don't know if Paddy's ever come across a guy that is as explosive and as athletic as Michael Chandler. Like, you know what keeps flashing back to me is Michael Chandler versus Hooker.
Yet, Whittaker also saw a pattern in Chandler's recent bouts, where he would start strong but tire out and either get submitted or finished. Whittaker had predicted that Paddy would weather Chandler's early storm and begin to dominate with volume, especially if Chandler made any mistakes with his takedowns.
And Hooker is so hard to put away, but the explosiveness to close that gap. And to be fair, when Michael Chandler explodes out like that, he creates problems for everyone.
Sure.
He created problems, even though he lost those last two fights, he created problems for Poirier in that first round. Big problems. He created problems for Charles in that last round.
Patricio Freire, a former Bellator champion, had also predicted a win for Paddy. He noted that Paddy seemed to be in the best form of his career and believed this fight could mark a turning point for Chandler. Freire acknowledged Chandler's confidence, but felt Paddy was simply on another level at the moment.
Looks like Pat Pimblett in the better moment of his career, and I think he's gonna win that fight. We changed some information about Michael Chandler, and I know he's very confident. I think he's going to win the fight.
Michael Bisping's prediction for the fight was also in favor of Paddy, though he offered a different perspective. He envisioned a frustrating night for Chandler, where Paddy's movement and technique would frustrate him. Bisping thought Paddy would stay elusive, using footwork, jabs, and calf kicks to break Chandler's rhythm.
Paddy Pimblett, I think, pulls this off. I think it's going to be a fight where the crowd might get a little frustrated because, as I say, I think Paddy's going to dance around a lot. And Chandler is going to get frustrated. He's going to try and rush him, and Paddy's going to keep moving around, moving and grooving, slipping and sliding, dancing all over the octagon, pumping the jab, throwing low calf kicks.
While Bisping didn't foresee a knockout or submission from Paddy, he predicted that Paddy's point-based victory would be a result of Chandler's frustration and inability to handle Paddy's style.
I don't think the big shot is going to come from Paddy. I don't think he knocks him out. I don't think he takes him down. I don't think he submits him. But I do think that he wins via decision on points. And I do think it's going to be a really frustrating night at the office for Michael Chandler.
Despite the predictions in favor of Paddy, Sean O'Malley had remained neutral about the outcome. He praised both fighters, calling Chandler a gangster for taking the fight and recognizing that a win for either of them would be significant. O'Malley respected Paddy's skills, especially after his performance against Bobby Green, and understood the importance of this fight in terms of climbing the rankings. However, O'Malley didn't offer a prediction, stating that he felt the fight would be competitive. No clear winner emerging in his mind.
Such an interesting fight. Michael Chandler is such a gangster for taking that fight. I mean, it's just like it's a good. If he beats Paddy, that's still a big win, and maybe not some people's eyes, but Paddy's fucking skilled. The way what he did to Bobby Green was super.
And he's confident. Like, yeah, it's gonna be.
It's a big fight. Michael Chandler's a beast for taking that fight. Paddy's a beast for. I mean, that's Paddy. What he wants to do is climb the rankings. I think that fight makes so much sense. I don't know who wins either. It's going to be, I feel like it's going to be very competitive.
Moving on, Charles Oliveira had also shared his thoughts on the fight between Michael Chandler and Paddy Pimblett, acknowledging Chandler's aggressive style. He respects Chandler's aggression and power, noting, "Michael Chandler is a very aggressive and explosive guy. I have nothing but respect for him. He has power in his hand." However, Oliveira saw a different edge in Paddy, praising his youth, movement, and skills in both jiu-jitsu and stand-up. On the other side, you have a younger guy that believes in himself, moves very well, and has really good jiu-jitsu and also a good stand-up game. Oliveira continued. When the topic of how the fight might play out over the rounds came up, Oliveira placed his bet on Paddy if the fight extends into the third round. In the first 2 rounds, Chandler has a chance to knock him out because of how explosive he is. But if the fight goes into the third round, I believe it's going to be hard for Chandler because Paddy is younger and he's very talented, Oliveira said confidently. He also mentioned he has been following Paddy for a while, saying, "I've been watching Paddy Pimblett for a while. He talks a lot, and the people at the UFC love that. But right now, he has a really important fight coming up, and it's going to be a really tough test." On the other hand, Dustin Poirier didn't mince words when discussing who he thought would win between Chandler and Paddy Pimblett. In his blunt response, Poirier said, "Even though he's a bitch, Chandler all day go heavy on the money." Poirier's comments reflect the ongoing tension between him and Chandler, with both having exchanged harsh remarks in the past. Paddy Pimblett, ever confident, had also discussed his thoughts before the fight during an interaction with Daniel Cormier. Paddy acknowledged Chandler's reputation for being fast and explosive, but he was confident that Chandler's age and declining physical abilities would play a significant role in his downfall.
Heavyweights, you can fight till you're in your 40s, exactly. Right? But down at 155 and below, being in your mid-30s is very difficult.
Yeah.
You think it shows itself this weekend, you and Michael Chandler?
Yeah, I think it shows itself this weekend. You know, Chandler's always been known as like fast and explosive, and I think I'm going to expose that he's not fast anymore. His knees are terrible. He's not going to be able to have as good movements, and I'm going to take that away from him also. Everyone as well thinks that he's a better wrestler than me. That maybe when it comes to like American wrestling,
yeah, put some wrestling shoes on.
Yeah, he is a better wrestler than me. But when it comes to MMA wrestling, I think Charles exposed him.
Paddy had also laid out his plans for the future, stating that he believed his rise to the top would continue if he defeated Chandler. He saw himself as a potential title contender and aimed to fight the biggest names in the division, such as Charles Oliveira, Justin Gaethje, and Dustin Poirier.
Well, I think I could be fighting for the title next year. Beat Michael Chandler, and my plan is to come back and fight in Abu Dhabi on that pay-per-view in October. Beat Charles, Justin, Poirier, and then I'll be #1 contender as long as I beat one of them. But I think the old guard is starting to phase out. Like I was talking about it before. Think about 8 fighters in the top 10 at over 35.
Yeah.
Demetrius Johnson showed support for Paddy's championship aspirations, predicting that Paddy had what it takes to become a champion one day. Johnson mentioned that if Paddy didn't achieve championship status, it would be a missed opportunity for a fighter with so much potential. He highlighted Paddy's consistency and skill set, comparing him to other fighters who were always close to the top but never made it.
I can't wait to see him get to the point where, like, I think one day he will be a champion. Like, I think if he doesn't be champion, it will be like one of the guys who were really good who never became, like a Uriah Faber, right? Like, or Joseph Benavidez. Like, he does everything right as of now in this fight and the time of his career, and when he fought Bobby Green.
Even Conor McGregor had shown interest in the outcome of the Chandler versus Pimblett fight, hinting that he might return to the UFC to face the winner. McGregor, who had been away from the octagon since his 2021 injury, had posted on Instagram before the fight, saying, "I am interested in the Chandler-Pimblett fight this weekend." So, coming back to the result of the fight between Paddy Pimblett and Michael Chandler, did it live up to the hype? Was it the explosive showdown fans were hoping for? We'd love to hear your thoughts. Drop your opinions in the comments and let us know how you saw the fight play out. And don't forget to subscribe for all the latest updates from the world of UFC.